What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at $8,110. We're down 0.81%. And I had four things that I wanted to go over with you today. We're going to talk about the trend that is up in the short term, looking at the 4-hour chart. We're also going to talk about the back test. We're going to look at decreased volume, and the candles are getting extremely tight. And guys, what you'll notice is when candles start to get really tight, you're going to have that break. Whether it be to the upside or downside, it can give you a clue that at least a break's going to come. And what you traditionally see is this decreased volume as well. So as we've been breaking out through this downtrend channel in purple, guys, we came all the way back and we back tested this green neckline. And this was something we were preparing for. We talked about this a little bit. A lot of times, guys, when you break out of necklines, about 50% of the time, you'll come back, you'll back test them, and then you'll find a bounce off that. And what happened was we found a bounce off that, but we didn't have a lot of increased volume to try to get us back up. And what happened was we made a lower high than our previous area around that $8,400. And what I believe is happening right now, guys, is we're in some type of consolidation right now. So we had our explosive move up, and now we're just kind of moving sideways. If you take a look at this, we bounced off the neckline, we came up, and now for the past probably, we'd say 40 hours or so, we've been moving sideways, and the candles are really small, they're tight, the volume's been decreasing. And what I'm looking for is that next push up, because you have to remember in the short term now, after we've had this inverse head and shoulders pattern, the trend now on the short term is up. And what you'd want to do here is draw a trend line. This is what I'm looking at here. So we'll draw this trend line. This is the main trend line for us that we need to continue. These are our higher lows that came in that we need to continue. So you can see here's a low, here's a higher low, then up here's a higher low. So we don't want to start dropping below that area, guys. But ultimately, we're going to be looking at this trend line here. So say we are to break back down through this green neckline again, I would start looking down around this green trend line for us to start finding some support. But we're not at that area right now. For me, because we're still trading up above this downtrend channel, this could be an area that we get that next pop to the upside. And if we do get a move to the upside, we're going to need to break, we'll call it 8,200. And then it's going to be up around 8,334. And I'd go off the real bodies here as opposed to the wicks, because when you wick up, that's essentially the market testing those areas. So they're feeling around there, and then what happened is, guys, you saw that sell-off right here. So you see these long wicks up here. We were poking, trying to find a little bit farther up there for the bulls, and then the bottom just kind of fell out there, and we ended up going from that, $8,400 all the way down to $7,600. And that's how fast things can move in this market, or in this game that we're playing here of cryptocurrency. And guys, whenever you see things like this inverted head and shoulders, traditionally this should be a bottoming pattern. So if we zoom out here, and remember this is all on the 4-hour chart, so we can really look at the patterns here. We've been dealing with lower highs and lower lows, but traditionally when you get some type of inverted head and shoulders like we had here, this was pretty pronounced. Here's our left shoulder, here's our head, here's our right shoulder that was gaining some strength there, and then we had that move out of the neckline. Traditionally, this can be a bottoming pattern. This could be us finding the bottom after 6 months of downtrend, but we still need this trend to continue, because like we've talked about, guys, we can be in a short-term uptrend, but what we need to do is get that past, even the 4-week mark, 5-6 weeks, to where we can start getting into that intermediate term trend. And then what you'll be seeing is higher highs and higher lows continuously coming in. So here's our higher low. We failed to have a higher high. We set a higher low. And then, guys, we're going to try to get up for that higher high. And what I wanted to look at next here with us was our RSI. So we're going to look at a few indicators here. Let me know what you guys are doing. Do you believe we're going to get a bounce off the top of this channel now? We're going to find support, or off this 50-day or 50 moving average on the 4-week time frame? Do you feel as though we're going to get a bounce off that and make the next move up, or are we going to start breaking back down through this downtrend channel and this neckline here and start testing that lower trend line we were just looking at? But in terms of the RSI here on the 4-hour as well, you're kind of having that symmetrical triangle type deal. And guys, this is where it's just at that point where it can break either direction. So what we can do is even draw lines like that. And we'll just do a very rough one here for you just to show you what you'd be looking at. And then you could even go down in that range there. And what we'd do, guys, is move this back in just like that. So it'd be an odd looking one, but this would definitely count as a symmetrical triangle on the line graph here. So we'd want to see if we get a move directly out through the top of this trend line, or if we're going to start dropping back down, because our lower highs are coming in here, guys, and then or I'm sorry, higher lows on the bottom and then lower highs on the top. So this is definitely a wide symmetrical triangle, but we're going to have to see which way it ends up breaking. We're at 55 right now, so we definitely have a little more odds for us to continue this move to the upside given where the strength is. But like I said, guys, volume, you just got to be careful here. Whenever you have these pumps, the volume can dry up until you have that next break, that next move. Then we'll look at our stock RSI. Stock RSI, we are getting a bullish cross down in here. Let me pull this up for us a little bit. So right here is our bullish cross, and we're going to start moving to the upside hopefully there, guys, but it'll need to come on big volume. We need to have a little bit more volume stepping in with this, but we haven't had a bullish cross. And this one, guys, we basically rolled right over, but we hadn't had a cross at least from that since, we'd say, January 12th, 2020. Is what we were looking at here. So if you're trading a little bit more in the short term there, that is significant that we hadn't had a cross in a while, and that could give us the opportunity to pop out of here. So we're just going to have to wait. In my opinion, the patient is going to be rewarded. The people who are patient and can really wait to see what's going to happen here, if we're going to find support, you know, off the top of this downtrend line or the neckline or this 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, those are the people who are going to be rewarded, because we have to wait to see if we really start having that heavy volume to the upside or the downside there, guys. But just protect yourself. That's all I can tell you. Be safe in this market. Do the best that you can. Set those stop losses if you're going long, guys. Just always have that stop loss in place. Look at your risk to reward and go from there. That's the best thing I can tell you. So God bless you all, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Take care.